WFM 91.7.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today? How is your day coming? I hope you're feeling great. Yes, it is another Saturday, a beautiful Saturday morning. I don't know, but what are you doing? For me, my Saturday has just been there, doing work here and there, some things just trying to make sure that the house is in place. But yes. But we have to have this conversation. It is necessary that we have this conversation. It is 5 minutes past 12 on your women radio WFM 91.7, and my name is Esther Alaribe. And yes, it is still the campaign, the 16 days of activism against violence, on violence against women. And I will not be doing this alone. As you know, we get to talk to different organizations daily. We get to hear from them and what they are doing in the area of ending violence against women and girls. Yes, there are different organizations who have devoted their time, energy, resources. Their mandate is to ensure that violence against women and girls is a thing of the past. And yes, today, as we wrap up the conversation on the 16 days of activism, today is day 16 of the 16 days of activism, which means today is the last day. And yes, we're wrapping up the conversation. But wrapping up the conversation on the 16th day doesn't mean that everybody is going to rest or we are going to rest our guards and nobody's going to do anything about it. No, we'll keep having these conversations because violence against women and girls is something that disturbs the peace of the society. For a society that has women as half of its population, we cannot keep treating women as second-class citizens and having them go through all form of discrimination. So yes, we're going to be speaking to another organization today, letting us know what they have been doing in their own capacity to ensure that violence against women and girls is a thing of the past. You can join the conversation. The phone lines are open 07000 917 917, or you can send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 317 56537. So far, on each day of the 16 days of activism, we'll be speaking to different organizations so far. And as we wrap up today, we are speaking to WACO. And representing WACO today, we have Egodi Blessing Igwe, Head of Communications, Women's Aid Collective, WACO. Good afternoon, Blessing. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon.
Yes,
Good
how are you doing?
afternoon, listeners, and welcome to today. I am fine. Enugu is fine,
All right,
and
good to know.
yeah, I'm motivated
Yes,
as always.
good to hear. How's your weekend?
Very well. Um, is a bit quiet here, and we are all indoors almost. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I'm glad you're having a restful weekend already. Now, yes, WACO just celebrated its
Mm.
25th anniversary, and amazing work you do at WACO, amazing work that the team at WACO has been doing to ensure that the lives, the rights of women and girls are protected. So tell us what it feels like to be 25 at WACO.
It feels amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Feels yes, we feel awesome. We feel blessed. Because we know that. Is not an easy feat, considering the challenges, the ups and downs, the that we as service providers face on daily basis, both at in the field and in every other place, because the cause of fighting SGBV is not for the faint-hearted. It's for those who are passionate, those who are determined, those who are focused, and who has vision and the things they want to achieve. And every day we wake up, we know that the challenge is enormous, but we are motivated as always, and we face it head on.
All
So
right.
just the 25 years of our work we have recorded monumental achievement. Day before yesterday on the 8th, Enugu was agog for Wako. As we roll out the drums, we receive a lot of goodwill from our public, from our clients. In fact, a lot of them who have accessed our services, they came through to celebrate with us. We have in the midst women, our community women who mobilize in their hundreds to come and support what we are doing. We have CSO, we have partners, we have traditional institutions almost every strata of the society we are represented. Even students, they came in numbers, and they were all, wishing Wako well, wishing that we continue to do what we do. And of course, we are determined to continue.
All right. Thank you
I
so
want
much
to
for
thank
that.
especially our executive director, Professor John Ngozi Ezilo, for
Mm-hmm.
always being yes, because she is the brain behind this organization, and she has been doing marvelous well in terms of providing that leadership that brought us here today. And she's not stopping. I want to thank her especially, and the entire Wako team for what the sacrifices they made on daily basis.
All right. Thank you so much, Blessing, for that. Yes, congratulations to Wako, 25 years. Protecting the rights of women and girls. It's not easy, but yet great feat it is. And we wish Wako more years of success in fighting for women. Now, going into the conversation of the day, the 16 days of
Thank you.
activism. Yes, blessing. Into the 16 days of activism. So, how would you rate our success as a country so far in combating violence against women and girls? So, your organization, WACO, has been in this fight for about 25 years. So, from your own point of view as an organization, how would you say we've done?
Okay. Coming to our organization specifically, I would say that we have done extremely well in terms of combating violence against women, and okay, maybe in general, SGBV. We have done extremely well. In fact, from our record, and those are empirical records that we have in our legal clinic, we have assisted over 62,000 clients. And most of those clients are broad cases of SGBV, violence against women and girls. So, and these, we provide them free legal aid services in terms of mediation, in terms of pro bono services, in terms of treatment and support. Under SGBV, we run Tamasa. Wako Tamasa means Wako Tama Sexual Assault Referral Center. So it's a one-stop shop for treatment and support, and the psychosocial support for victims of SGBV. So, and we run this, almost 24 hours, because beyond receiving them physically in our office, we also assist some through online services. Like we have in our website, that's where you can call and speak to someone directly on WhatsApp or on phone. So these are part of what we do. So apart from the Tama Sexual Assault Referral Center, which is still very, very on, and we have medical personnel who are on hand 24 hours to respond to cases of rape, to cases of all form of sexually related violence against women, and all these we do free of cost. So also WACO facilitated the passage of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law of Enugu State, which was passed in 2019. So it's also one of the greatest legal instruments that, if effectively implemented, and of course we are pushing for the effective implementation now through training of different stakeholders, that especially in those corridor of justice system, that will help to implement that law effectively. So we train police officers. Also, we just started through the support of Action Aid Nigeria. We've trained police officers. We've trained paralegal officers, those that are located in various communities, that also receive these cases firsthand, and also help the victim through the process of reporting, and also the process of treatment, and follow up on the cases to ensure that they get justice. So we also train lawyers, magistrates, especially those that are working on the lower court level, that is the president of customary court and the magistrate court. Those are the people that are closer to the society, closer to the communities, that receive these cases of SGBV,
Mm.
firsthand. So we are on through the support of Ford Foundation. We are currently training. We just concluded training for Anambra and Enugu, Imo and Abia, and in the next phase we are going to train in Delta, in Edo, in Ebonyi, and other states. So under that project, we are working in 7 states: South, South, and Southeast.
Okay.
So the training will continue. So beyond that, we have trained women, over 350 women that are located, and these are women advocates. You know, we train them in terms of in area of leadership, in area of advocacy, so that they can drive the process of change.
All right.
Because the aim at the end of this project, which is aimed at transforming and
Hello, Blessing.
and transforming
Mm.
in the yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you clearly, Blessing. I can hear you. So, with all of this that WACO
Okay.
has done,
Okay.
all of these initiatives that WACO has put together to ensure that women are supported, most of the services being free of charge to ensure that women are able to speak up. What else do you think that WACO should do or will be doing to ensure, other than these other measures that you've put in place that you mentioned already, what else do you think, or what other areas do you think that WACO needs to look into to ensure that you get to do more in reaching down to people at the grassroots to speak up against sexual and gender-based violence?
Okay. Currently, Wakul is also working with some community-based organizations, which under the WVL project, the Women Voice and Leadership Project, to mentor some community-based organizations, which are women-led, to carry out this grassroots, sensitization and activities that will also uh, prevent and mitigate violence against women. So we're already doing that, and we hope to scale up in that area, especially in that area of trade, bringing in more community-based organizations, because we believe that since they are community-based and they are close to, women and children, so that they are going to make more impact if we teach them how to articulate their own project, their own program, since there is nothing we can do for them without them. So we believe that involving them more can also help in the advocacy as we move on. So we also want to get more women into leadership positions across the communities, because we know that if women are involved in the traditional leadership institutions and other decision-making structures, that they will bring in the change, because their voice will be heard and they will speak up more on issues involving women. And like I was saying earlier, the issue of culture, the issues of patriarchy have been the greatest enabler of violence against women. And we believe that if we can consolidate on the advocacy for the review of those laws, to make it more gender friendly, and women are in decision making process, and their voice become more potent and more loud, and they become more effective, then they will be able to bring those change. They begin to change those norms, and they will begin to make more women uh, feel protected in the communities. The issue of Umuada system is a very big challenge when it comes to violence against women, especially harmful cultural practices, because those are being carried out by those women themselves. So want to see how to dismantle that idea, how to deconstruct that issue of the Omada trying to protect their family, even when they are not even members of the family. So want to see how to turn them, instead of them being against their fellow women, that they will rather turn to protect the protector of women, rather than being the one used to subjugate women at the local level. So want to see more advocacy, and want to push for more implementation of laws, because Well, our problem is not the death of law. In our system, we have
Implementation.
laws and instruments that can protect women if effectively implemented. So, we want to see how to, sensitize communities, bring in more stakeholders, especially male champion. We are looking at exploring the issue of bringing more men to our fold so that they become part and parcel of the fight instead of seeing it as a women fight. We can now see more voices of men, more faces of prominent men that are gender friendly that we join the fight, and that is what we are going to explore in our next
Okay.
25 years.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Blessing. Yes, it is 20 minutes past 12 on Your Women Radio WFM 91.7. In case you're just joining us, we're discussing efforts and what different organizations have been doing in the area of fighting gender-based violence against women and girls to end it. Today is the day 16 of the 16 days of activism, and as we wrap up on the conversation, wrap up on the campaign of the 16 days, we're speaking to Wako today on what they have been doing so far in the area of protecting women's rights and fighting against gender-based violence, what they have been doing, what they hope to do, what we should expect from their call to action and their word. To be a part of the conversation, 07000 917 917 is the number for you to call in to ask your questions. If there's something you're not clear about, do call in 07000 917 917, or you can send us a text or a WhatsApp message to be a part of the conversation. My name is Esther Alaribe, and today I'm speaking with Igodi Blessing Igwe, Head of Communications, Women Aid Collective, WACO. And yes, Blessing mentioned something in the last comment that she said, having to discuss the area of Umadas and Umada in the southeast and the way they go about holding up some of this culture and tradition. Yes, I totally understand. And when you hear some of the activities of the Umada, yes, you know that these are harmful cultural practices that we should put an end to. But when you go to the southeast, they get to tell you things like, oh, wominala. You cannot turn it around. You cannot change it. This is what we've been doing over the years. It's our culture. It's our tradition. So now I'm going to be asking you, Blessing. Since over time, these women, the Umadas, like you mentioned, have seen these things as their culture, their tradition, what would you be saying to them? What area do you look into working with them to make them understand that, yes, there is culture, there is tradition, but not when it infringes on the right of the person that it is being meted out to?
Well, of course, that is actually our message. Our message is that yes, culture is good, but any culture that is against, that infringes on the right, on the fundamental rights of anybody, is a cake, and it should be, jettisoned. So we also know that in the southeast part of Nigeria, there are other cultures that we are, uh, seen as being anti-human, and over time they have been, eliminated. So cultures like killing of twin, they used to see it as abomination, but now even the twin is being celebrated. So we know that there are cultures that people, tend to embrace out of ignorance. But when they have the right knowledge, when they have the right education about those things and its overall implication to the overall development of every strata of the community. Because if you neglect the women, you have neglected almost half of the community. So, and women are not bringing in the ideas, their own part of development of the community, because they have been sidelined. So what message we are passing through the group we call 50-50 Action Women. I told you we train 350 of them, and they are in about 7 states engaging stakeholders. So they have mastered how to engage these women, and we are reaching out to the female PGs. They have association. We are reaching out to them. We are reaching out to different women groups, even the CWOs, Christian Women Association, through the Anglican side, the Pentecostal side. We are reaching out to all. We have mapped out all of them, and we are engaging them. And these women we are talking about belong to these groups. So
Okay.
we want to use those groups to reach out to them
To them.
and to explain to them and to turn them from being, hold with, would I say, because they see themselves as now as holding the culture, their own culture. So now to turn them to advocate of women emancipation, and we are winning that. We're winning that war, because even gradually now, women are being admitted in various communities through our advocacy. They are being admitted into the traditional institution, and that is a good sign. And we know that if we continue the advocacy, that more women are going to be involved in leadership. And when they get involved, and we working with them, we know that we will bring the change. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
Yes, it is going to happen. It's just a matter of time, but we need to keep doing what we have to do. Advocacy in different
Exactly.
areas. Yes, when you see something, say something. Know the
Say
different
something.
offices, different authorities that you have to speak with. Now, blessing. So, in as much
Yeah.
as your organization WACO has made all of this success, I mean, there is no way in any organization or any area of advocacy. Yes, there are some challenges that you would face. Now, for instance, in this conversation, is it have you ever had some kind of challenges where you go to have conversations with some stakeholders and they are not having the conversation at all, and they tell you that this is not part of us, we don't understand what you're talking about, and things like that? So what are the challenges you've had to face? Because these issues are real.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course, we've faced numerous challenges, and yes, one of it, some of the resistance from some of the men that are so much, inclined to this culture. Every time you bring in issue like that, if they are within the traditional rulers cabinet, they tend to get so angry,
Okay.
they get agitated, and they even begin to. But within them, we also get to see that there are some of them that already convert. So with them, because if you don't, if we normally do our groundwork,
Okay.
using using uh, um power mapping. So when you do
Okay.
the power mapping, you know who and who,
To speak to
you'll be able
first.
to read individuals' behavior that made up the cabinet. You know who is more alienable to change. You
Okay.
know who is, very, very, would I say, fanatics about culture. So if you separate those people and you first of all engage them differently, you engage those people that are more amenable to change. So and you're able to convert them, it becomes easy for you, because when you come out in an open advocacy in the cabinet, will be able to see some voices that will be, that will be able to, intervene on your behalf, and bring in those uh um no those ideas, those will I say, trying to convince others that this is something that is
They should
acceptable,
take on.
that is something that they can discuss,
Okay.
even though it's not something they can do immediately. That let them give these women
A
chance,
chance.
let them be heard, because those other ones want to kick against the whole discussion immediately. So yeah, we do receive this pocket of resistance here and there, but we also, because we've done our groundwork, we also already have people that are on our side, and when they are, we also as of the team, maybe traditional meeting them meeting, so it's easier, when we do it like that. So those are the strategies we use sometime in order to counter. And above, over and above that, we are also trying to groom young group of young females,
Okay. Okay.
and male as well. We call them under our Girls Way project. So we call it Girls Well. Girls will become anything they want to be if they follow the right approach, if they have the right information, if they are properly sensitized, and they start early. So we want to catch them young. So if we are able to build the confidence of young girls from primary to secondary to university level, so you will see a different crop of women coming out that knows their rights, that has the voice, that has the confidence, and they can defend themselves at any point in time. It becomes easier when they get married, that violence against women, especially domestic violence, will be reduced to some extent because one, they will be trained, they have the right knowledge, they are educated, they have good job. So it's easy to face domestic violence in their villages, in their matrimonial home is very, very less. Then also in their community, such women will not be easily intimidated, even when they become widow. You cannot practice widowhood practices against such people because you don't even know where
They're
to start.
enlightened
They know
already.
their right. They have exactly, they're already enlightened. So it's easy. So I want to see how to also begin to do it at that level so that more women we even have the knowledge, more women we even become, because those women, when they are educated, they become advocate themselves, you see. And we're also doing it in line with the male. Whenever we come for this sensitization, we'll bring male and female together. Sometimes we decide to separate them depending on the message we are bringing for the sensitization. And we're also making young men to realize that, look, you can exist with women. You have equal right, equal opportunity in classes. You see how you don't dominate class because you are male. You have some classes where women are coming first position in the class, while other classes male. That is to tell them that, look, everybody are equally enlightened, equally intelligent. And if they enable, if they are given enable environment,
Everybody
they
will
can try,
flourish.
they can achieve their potential. In one of the communities, one of the secondary schools, that is community secondary school, Oji River Urban, where we went for sensitization. After some, we told them, look, how many of the girls have been a student president of the school, this thing, and there was none. We told them, why can't a woman be a president? They call it SP, yeah, senior prefect in this school. They're always the deputy senior prefect. Why the men will be the senior prefect? Say no. Why can't a woman also vie? So in this thing, like just last year, the woman was elected the senior prefect of the school for the very very first time, just for them to have the right knowledge and for the women to know that, look, these are not seats reserved for anybody. It's open. You can vie for this. Even in some communities now, like girls are now participating in the youth activity. Before now, they used to say youth of this community, but when they come, you see only the boys.
Yes.
You will not see any female. But in some, like in a community, I know in my own community, in our local government or town to be precise, the last election conducted for youth, women were also asked to vie, and no position was reserved for men. The position was thrown open
To
for male
everybody.
and female. Yes. Then the town union executive election that was also conducted last year, the same thing. They throw it open. They say a woman can contest even to be the PG of this community. And women, some got form and contested. No, them. So
Which
that
is a
is
good
the
thing.
effect and the impact of the advocacy we are doing.
All
Like
right.
I told you, we are winning. Is a slow, a
Slow and
gradual
steady.
thing we are doing. So we must make sure that we are taking the right step, doing the right thing, saying the right things to the right people, and with time, all these things will begin to fall into places.
All right. Thank you so much, Blessing, for that.
Yeah.
Yes, before I let you go this afternoon, so what will be your commitment on behalf of your organization, WACO?
Well, our commitment, we are committed to the issue of women, children, just like we say in our vision, is a democratic society free from violence and abuse, where the women rights of all, especially women and young people, are practiced are realized in law, both in law and in practice, and they are recognized everywhere. We will continue to pursue that through our programs, through our actions, through our activities, and our board and our executive director, Professor Joy Ngozi Ezilu, the senior advocate of Nigeria. We just celebrated her swearing in. Is more than committed to this cause, and we will continue to pursue it. We want to say that Wako Women House, that is our head office, is open to everybody. And indeed, all our office across the Federation is open to anybody who has ever felt a short change in any way in terms
Anyway.
of violence against his or her person to come and receive succor.
All
Our
right.
legal clinic is open. We have lawyers who are ready. We have psychologists who are ready to also, counsel them. So at any point in time, our doors are
Are
always open.
open. All
Just
right.
speak out. Don't die in
Silence.
silence. Wako will assist you. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you so much, Ego the Blessing Igwe, Head of Communications, Women AIDS Collective, Wako. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Do have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Esther, and do have a nice day to yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, there you have it. You have it from Blessing Igwe, Head of Communications, WACO. Now, organizations like Women Aid Collective, WACO, work so hard to ensure that young women and girls achieve an equal ratio for both genders, and as we get to eliminate all forms of discrimination against women and girls. Now, through the 16 days of activism, we've had to profile different organizations on each day to let you know that there are organizations who are committed to this cause. People who can help you. Do not die in silence, like Blessing has said. Speak up. Speak up. If you're unsure of what organization to go to, if you're unsure of what office to go to, you can always send us a text or a WhatsApp message here on Women Radio, and we'll be sure to refer you to the organization in charge or that is going to pick up that issue and address it properly. There is help if you speak up. Speak up. I understand that the society we live in is not kind enough to understand that these things happen, and people would want to shame you to ensure that the culture of silence continue to thrive. But it is on you for you to speak up, and you don't know who you are doing a favor by speaking up. If you speak up today, somebody else who probably is in that situation or just went through that situation will get the motivation to also speak up, and together we will collectively fight this menace of sexual and gender-based violence against women and girls in different forms, and be sure that we'll win this battle together. So different organizations who have had to come tell us about what they do and how they help women and girls to fight against gender-based violence. We've had Rest for Her project, we've had Hasty Health Initiative, we've had Association of Northern Women Entrepreneurs, we've had the founder of Above Whisper Foundation, Network of Women with Disabilities, Ward C, that is the Women Advocates Research and Documentation Center, Vision Spring Initiative, we've had Netete Initiative, Jewel Ministries, RAPA, that is Women Rights Advancement and Protection Alternatives, we've had the Nigerian Women Trust Fund, we've had the Yaloja of Ishele, Afowoji Market Ikorodu, we've also had the Foundation for Women and Girls, Makrisa Foundation for Women and Girls. We've also had the Young Women in Politics Forum. We've had the Imam Jamaat Islamia of Nigeria, Lagos State chapter. We've also had, finally today, WACO. So you see these organizations that we've spoken to so far in the course of these 16 days. Listening to them, you can tell that there is help. There is help. These organizations are committed. There are so many people doing amazing work in the area of ending and fighting gender-based violence. Please speak up. The advocacy does not end here. It doesn't end here because today is the 16th day and we'll stop talking about it. No. Here at Women Radio 91.7, we are committed to ensuring that women and girls can live freely in the society and they are allowed to maximize their potentials and thrive. So please do yourself that honor today. If you have been sexually assaulted, you have been harassed, there is help. Please speak up. You can always send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070-317-56537 and be sure that we'll attend to you. A big thank you to my guest. Thank you to the producer, Elizabeth Akwerigwe, and to the executive producer, Tom Okewale Shonaya. Do well to always speak up when you see something. When you see something, speak up, because you might never get the opportunity to do that again, and you will be saving a life by doing that. Remember that conversations like this do not end here, so you need to continue saying something. When you see something, you say something. My name is Esther Alaribe. Good afternoon.